Alrighty, so hello there everyone and welcome to Racing Formula League. We are here for season number 16 and it's round 6 of the season. We're here, as you may be able to tell, at Brazil here for this evening. And so we're obviously here for qualifying, and shortly we'll have the first of the cars out on circuit. And so let's see who's that out first. Looks like it might be Tarrier. Yes, it is. Tarrier coming out of the track first, followed by one of the Astons and then one of the Audis. I see two of those two teams. Two cars even this evening for those two teams. And so it is the championship leader, Tarrier. Didn't have an ideal race last week at Imola, finishing P10, still scoring 4 points, whilst his nearest challenger Tom was not here, which is also the case for this evening's Grand Prix as well. So we are about to start the lap here for Tarrier into turn 1, 10-second gear. Through this NS and onto the back straight, and now is into turn number 4. And I need to remind myself of the corners. I think this one's Ferradura, if I'm not mistaken. Correct on all the relevant corner names. I know we're coming up to the braking zone of the Unisalt corner, so it is now foot flat to the floor for Tarrier as he crosses the line. What's the time going to be? A 109.4 for LTK Tarrier. It's Faze Ashton across the line, a 1 minute 10.6, and then the Audi of Jatin crosses the line, provisional pole position of 109.2, beats the time of Tarrier and opts himself provisional pole. One of the no, not one of the Alpines, one of the Williams cars of Verklempt has come across the line next, and Verklempt puts his Williams third on the grid provisionally. And now it is one of the Alpines next across the line. And so the Alpine of Matty across the line, P4 is his first time. Then Zombie slots his Haas into P5, and then 7th goes Jaltis with a 110.8, make that 8th because Sevi Jr. slots in P4 for Mercedes for the moment. Very close between his and Matty's time, only 5 thousandths separating those two. Verstappen 95 is not. I thought that was I thought that was Verstappen about across the line, but that was Jatin heading into the pit lane. So Verstappen 95 might actually still well be the next across line. Could be all the cars ahead on in laps, and that was very close, if not holding up there. Could have been a difficult one. Through the middle sector. sector. And on to the final sector goes Verstappen 95. Ends sector 2 there. Goes through Yunsao. And round the final couple of corners. And it's going to be across the line, and it's P8 for Verstappen 95 at 10.7. And just now, Kozlowski to set a time. Kozlowski starts a lap, goes through the Senna S and rounds the curve of the solve of turn number 3. Has a couple of cars that gets nicely out of the way, and into the Cida de Lago for turn 4 and 5 as well. Jumps back into the session through the Ferradura corner. Goes Kozlowski. And now turns 8 and now turn 9 and turn 10 of Bico de Pato. Hairpin. And corner then turn 11. Can't really pronounce that one, sorry, but then 12 is Yunsao. And now we go up the hill. Flat out through the left-hander, and then the slight kink of 15 in the final corner, and it's across the line for Kozlowski. He was P6 1097. So quite a few drivers separated by not too much. I think Seo Junior's improved to up to 3rd now. I was too busy not paying attention to the timing screens there. 109.5 goes slightly quicker than Verklempt has gone. So I think a few drivers now on their 2nd laps. And so we'll see. Okay, so round Yunsao goes Jatin, and up the hill round the final couple of corners, and we'll see what sort of time this is going to be. It's a 109.3, marginally slower than the first lap. Harrier improves through the first sector, so might be on for a provisional pole position here if he can improve further through the middle and final sectors. And flat out through 11 and into the braking zone of Yunsao, and now it's up the hill. And it is round the final corner for Tarrier. And it's a 109 flat from Tarrier. Puts him in provisional pole position. And so, who else on a lap? Maybe Verklempt's just started one. That's let's go into the pits there. Verstappen 95. I don't know if they're on a lap or not. Jatin on a recharge lap there, I think. So we'll look towards Verklempt, Williams. And so, what can the Williams driver do here? Heads through the second sector, slightly up Slightly quicker than their previous best time. Trying to put his foot to the floor, of course. And now just to the line now for Klempt. Can they improve? Up to third, I believe. 109.3 from Verklempt. On a lap here. Jatin on a lap is on an improvement. What can they do? Can they go back to provisional pole position? Not quite. They improve, but it's not. I think they improved there. But either way, still they remain second position for now. Jaltis just improved to P8 there, I think. Yeah, almost half a second quicker. So the Alpine driver making their debut here this evening, and currently sitting 8th on the grid as it stands. Zombie into the pits. Who's that? That's clamped on an in-lap Terrier, not on a push lap. Is that Verstappen 95? Are they on a lap? Question mark. No, into the pits for them. Sevi Jr. They're on a lap. They improve, and it's third position provisionally for the Mercedes driver. 109.3. Driver who won the race last time out at Imola on their debut here in RFL. Let's see what they can do this evening. Crossing line, potentially starting laps. There's two. Okay. Klempt there on another push lap, it looks like. As they go through Yunsal corner and up the hill now. And what are they able to do this time around? Can they get onto the front row? Yes, they can. It's a 109.1. Pushes Jatin down to third. And it's very close in these top few positions. Maybe not on a push lap for now, but starting a new lap. Matty about to start one as well. Because let's go, are they finishing a lap? Ashton might be too. Ashton finishes a lap, stays P10 for now, but it is pretty close in the battle on the 5th row of the grid for the moment. And so, got 4.5 minutes to go of this qualifying session. And drivers beginning to prepare for their final runs. And so, Klempt into the pit lane, Zombie the same. Is that Matty rounding Yunsal? It is. So the Alpine driver heading towards the line. And what can they do? Currently sitting 5th position, up to 3rd for Matty, 109.1. Ashton not on a push lap. Neither is Jaltis, they're not on a push lap. It's an out lap from Verstappen 95. It's an in lap from Matty. And is this Terrier beginning a lap? Let's see. He's up on the first sector time. So should this be the potential pole position lap? what Tarrier can do, or can somebody round about and do any lap time that is better? We'll see. There's quite a few drivers not too far away at all, so it could be an exciting few minutes here. Through Unisal we go. What sort of time is this going to be from Tarrier? Let's see, across the line it's 108.8 from Tarrier. Now that is gone a few tenths quicker, so is there a few more tenths yet to find? And so that's out lap. And not on a push lap. Check and see who is on a push lap at the moment. I think Ashton could be on one, so through the fender Jura we go. That's an invalidation from the Aston Martin, so it's not going to be for this lap. Invalidation there as well. Are they on a lap here, or are they starting a fresh one? Looks like that is the case. Starting a fresh lap. Let's have a look here. Less than a minute to go until the checkered flag comes out. And so just a couple more drivers to cross the line to start their laps. And I think they should all make it within the next 30 seconds to start, so it's going to be all the drivers crossing the line. Tarrier's invalidated just in front of Matty, so I think Tarrier's not going to get another lap in here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it for Tarrier, so is his time of 108.8 going to be, is that going to be good enough for pole position? Matty gets a wee bit of a slipstream here, checkered flag out, and what's it going to be for the Alpine? Stays in third position. Now two Aston Martins cross the line. Ashton stays P10 because Let's Go stays P6. I think it's for Klimt next across the line. He's up on his time, he's improving. It's not quite enough though. Stays second position. What does Verstappen 95 have? He is going to be P9 on the grid. Jaltis though, what can the Alpine driver do as they cross the line? It's P7 for the Alpine. Now it's Jatin crossing the line. He goes on to the front row. 109 flat from Jatin puts him on the front row. And Zombie crossing the line. He now goes P7. Now it's just Seve Jr. to cross the line. I think he hasn't quite improved there. Yeah, P5 for the Mercedes driver on the grid. So Tarrier pole position here in Brazil with Jatin second place. On the grid then it's for Klimt and Matty row 2, Seve Jr. and Kozlowski row 3, row 4 is Zombie and Jaltis, and row 5 Verstappen 95 and FaZe Ashton. So now we of course have ourselves a slight interlude before we get underway for things. So of course If you are indeed here live, then it is now your opportunity to, if you require, get yourself any refreshments, go for a quick comfort break, and if you are watching not live or on our YouTube, then you can skip forward a few minutes or so, and I will be back shortly. I need to fill up my glass of water. So, back shortly, and see you in a few. Alrighty. We are here, of course. What am I doing? I'm getting the tyres. There we go. So, a few drivers have decided to go on the hard tyre to start with. Those few are Tarrier and then the two Audis for the saving of Jatin and Verstappen 95. Everybody else has, of course, chosen the medium tyre. So for Clement, Matty, Sevi, Kozlesko, Zombie, Jaltis and FaZe Ashton have gone on the medium tyre to start. So course, as we can see, it is dry to start with. Unlike last week where we had quite heavy rain, we had most of the field started on the full wet tyre, but then we had a couple of drivers take the gamble and start an intermediates, which ended up being the winning strategy. It did make them a little bit slower the first couple of laps, but then it started to dry to, or the track started to get less wet pretty quickly on, so it was pretty soon quite even between the wet and the inters in that race, and it was, yeah, as I say, the winning strategy from Seve Junior last time out. So just got one or two cars left to park the car, and here we are. We're here at Brazil for round number 6 of season 16 of racing Formula League. The 5 red lights are on, and it's lights out and away we go. Who has had a good start? Tyres had a good start off the line for Klemps, had a good start from second place, and he goes up the inside for the lead. Does the Williams off for Klemp, but Sarrier has the inside line for turn 2, but that switches back to Verklempt inside for the curve of the stall of turn 3, and now side by side they go as they head towards turn 4 of Terceira del Lago. Inside line for Verklempt, and does he take the lead? He does indeed. Klempt takes the lead, and now Jatin's going to get involved with Tarry, but now Tarry trying around the outside of the Ferradura. Is it going to work for the Racing Bulls driver? Side by side they remain, but Verklempt defending nicely for the moment. Tarry still trying to move through the middle sector here. I think they have now just about settled in position. Of course, Tarrier still right behind, and so that's maybe a couple of gaps open up at the back. Of course, didn't quite see what happened there. However, LTK Tarrier right on the tail, of course, of Verklempt here. Are they going to go side by side down the pit straight? Yes, they are. Side by side they go, and who's going to come out on top here? Verklempt with the inside line of turn 1, but it's Tarrier. Is he getting himself through? Move not complete yet, but he's got the advantage. Oh, and Seve Junior drops down the positions for Mercedes as this battle continues on. And it's Matty who's up to 3rd position now, as we can see. The Alpine driver all over the back of Verklempt now. I know, is that 3 wide? They head into the Ferradura. And who comes out the leader of the race here? Tarrier has that lead for now, but it's Matty nicely up to 2nd for them. Great start from the Alpine driver of this race. Jatin down to P4 from, I believe, is on the front row to start with. However, though, we head into the Unisam corner. It is nose to tail, the top 6 all nose to tail with each other here. And so on to the pit straight we go once again. Matty right over the tail of Tarrier, and now they're side by side. Matty taking lead, but Verklempt trying to go through up the inside as well. There's not quite enough of an opportunity there, and it is Matty who takes the lead. On to lap number 3 we go, and Verklempt looking for that first place position now, side by side into turn number 4, and it's Verklempt who now takes the lead here. And is Matty going to be under pressure from Tarrier? Looked like it was close there, but they all settle into position now. And so, yeah, the top 6 still are nose to tail here. And so, who is going to be next to try for an overtake? Who is going to be brave on those brakes into potentially turn 1 or 4 as well? Those 2 corners probably the best 2 overtaking spots, but don't count out other places either. Right, so on to the pit straight to start lap number 4. Verklempt leads for now, but that's the Audi of Jatin under a wee bit of pressure because Let's Go looking for it, but doesn't quite come to fruition through the first couple of corners. Verstappen overtakes Sevi Jr. for P8 there. But what is going to happen here up at the front? Any position changes? Not quite this time round. And that is a first penalty. Oh my goodness me. I was not expecting them to go side by side there. And Matty takes the lead unexpectedly from me there. And a great move it must have been. So, of course, these guys all still nose to tail. Bit of battling going on as well. Right, Kozlesko up to 3rd, whilst I was looking at other things. Kozlesko's moved up to P3, and now Jatin's under some pressure from Tarrier, who moves up to P4. Now Verklempt makes a move for the lead ahead of Matty, who is now P2. But it's side by side, Tarrier and Kozlesko. Tarrier makes an overtake for P3, and that puts Kozlesko under pressure from Jatin, who goes around the outside of turn 3. And Jatin makes up the position to P4. And it's all going on. It's all going on just when I take my eyes off for one moment. And it all kicks off once again. And Jatin's made a move, and Tarrier's down to 6th position. A mistake there from Tarrier puts him down to P6. And again, I've taken my eyes off for a moment and something's happened and I've missed it. So I do apologise there for that one. And now this time, Matty pounding the back of that Williams car, trying to be the one who's in first position, as now they cross the line to start lap number 6. And as Jatin sets a new fastest lap, anything going on into turn 1? Not quite here, but is anybody setting up a move into turn 4? Matty sees the opportunity and makes the move for P1. Matty retakes the lead once again. Is anything else happening behind though? Oh, Jaltis under some pressure, and Tarrier goes through back up to P5 for the championship leader. And so, well, so wait to see, let's get a helicopter shot, try and get a view of as many cars as possible, but then it goes back to the non-helicopter shots again. So, another lap, and is it going to be another change for the lead? Let's find out here. Verklempt into the slipstream of the Alpine of Matty, and is there going to be a lead change once again as Tarrier overtakes Kozlesko? It's Matty who stays in front for now, but what's going to happen as they head down towards turn number 4? Nose to tail they go, and now they go side by side. Verklempt, he goes up the inside and he takes the lead back away from the Alpine of Matty. Is there anything going on further back is the question. Not quite this time round. So let's look to see here, and a couple of gaps starting to open up here, and that is not the case though on the top 3. They're all within a second of each other, the top 3. And could we see some more action this lap here? Matty on the tail for Verklempt once again. And any action into turn 1? Not quite. Seems more and more that it's turn 4 that's the better overtaking spot. And so Matty on the tail of Verklempt once again. Is there going to be some side-by-side action? Not this time round. As it is Zombie, who I think set the fastest lap and then got a penalty, but it's going to be side-by-side into the Ferradura. Matty going up the inside. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. Matty taking the lead here in the middle sector of the lap this time. And so, is that going to lead or overtakes on the next part of the circuit? I mean, Jatten's got a lot closer this time to Verklempt. I've pressed the wrong button, so this time they're closing up more and more, and a bit of a look from him as well, but no action into turn 1 here this lap. But what is going to happen at turn 4? Delago, and already Tarrier's looking to make a move, and he gets past Jatten for P3. And with it being nose to tail for the lead as well, that stays the way it is for now. And Tarrier right on the tail here of Verklempt now. And we'll see if anything happens between these two. I was going to suggest maybe a chance into Pico de Bato, but yeah, it's not always the best overtaking spot. There's going to be a straight not long after it, but sometimes you do see moves there. Turn 10 Pico de Bato, but now it's Verklempt right on the tail of Matty here for the lead. Tarrier's very close as well. And what's going to happen into turn 1? Nose to tail completely. It stays as they are through the first couple of corners, and now on to the back straight here, and it is Matty under some pressure from Verklempt. He's going up the inside, but it's not quite enough for the Williams driver this time around. They stay as they are, and Tarrier, is he looking to make a move? Oh, that is, of course, that's quite a narrow section of track, so space can often close up quickly there. Just looking here, oh, that's a spinning Mercedes, and that is not ideal for Seve Jr. Won last time at Imola, but he's not quite had a good race so far here at Brazil. And now we go back to the front 4. They're all nose to tail with each other, and I think Matty's going to be under some pressure here, is he, as we head across the start finish line onto lap number 11. And Verklempt looking to go side by side, but he chooses to stay behind, and that could allow Tarrier a chance, but they stay as they are for now. Oh, that's 10 seconds. Zombie speeding into the pit lane there. And what's going to happen into turn 4 here? Tarrier has a look, but it's not quite enough. And what tyres are going to be for Zombie? It's going to be some medium tyres, and Seve Jr.'s into the pits as well. Quickly have a look at the pit stop there. So Seve Jr. into the pits, and it's on to some hard compound tyres for the Mercedes driver. And Zombie onto some new medium tyres as well. And so Matty under some big pressure once again. Yeah, I think that, well, yeah, we'll see, but this time they are nose to tail once again, the top 3. Tarrier, is he having a look on Verklempt? He is indeed. Tarrier takes P2 away from Verklempt there. And is there going to be some more action down the back straight? Tarrier going side by side with Matty. And who's going to come out on top here? Looks like Matty keeps the lead for now. The Alpine driver keeping the lead. Tarrier seems to get good runs out of turn number 5 and towards the Ferradura, but stays behind this time around. And so we will see what occurs next time round. And Tarrier looking hungry, and we'll see what he can do from here. Of course, nose to tail they go once again. The straight mode activated and side by side for the lead here. And Tarrier, can he take the lead here on lap number 13? He can, but the move not quite done yet. Still got the back straight to go through. And we'll see what happens here. Verklempt all over the back of the Alpine of Matty. And Verklempt has a look up the inside and makes the move stick there. So Verklempt up to second position. And so we'll see what happens here. Righty ho, righty ho, righty ho. We go through Yun Sao on lap number 13. Tarrier trying to get away. Jatin closing up to the Alpine as well. And so on to lap 14 here for now. And are we going to see some action here? What is going to occur as we head through? We're going through the back straight and Verklempt closes but stays in position for the moment. Matty's closing up to the back of the Williams car though, and we'll see what he is able to do. Heading through the middle sector we go. And we'll see how long this group stay in the group, because of course being within a second means you get the overtake mode for a whole lap, gets the extra battery, and Jatin closing up to Matty's Alpine, but it hasn't quite come to fruition. And Kozlezko pits from P5. Kozlezko is into the pits. We'll see if anything happens out on track. Because Matty, he is closing, but is he going to be close enough? No, he's not. So into the pits for Kozlezko. He has gone on to the hard compound tyre for Aston Martin. And see where they're going to slot, are they? Yeah, it's going to be behind. Wasn't sure if that was side by side there. Ooh, under pressure is Verklempt. Jatin's gone up the inside into Pico de Battle, turn number 10, and Jatin has made the move for P3. That was an opportunistic move there. Opportunistic there from Jatin, and he gets himself into third position. And yeah, Matty's dropped a bit of time compared to Tarrier. Tarrier heads away, but it's Verklempt into the pit lane. Verklempt pits. We'll see if there is action on track. Yes, there is. Jatin going side by side with the Alpine of Matty. Side by side they go. Who is going to come out on top here? Side by side into the Segredago. And Jatin off circuit he goes, and he's not able to make the move. So Verklempt on to the hard compound tyre. He comes out in 5th position, ahead of Verstappen 95 and ahead of Kozlowski. Zombie we can see just behind as well. But now, oh, Jatin's gone up the inside again. This time it's Matty. And Pico de Bato, once again, he's gone for it there, and he's made the move stick, has Jatin. And it's P2 for the German driver. And into the pits there goes Matty. Matty pits from what was 3rd. Oh, he's not slowed it down in time. 10-second penalty is going to be really costly there. It's going to be really costly indeed. And so Matty into the pits, and it's going to be the hard compound tyres. Jaltis, the other Alpine. Jaltis for Alpine into the pits as well. The pit crew not quite as quick as they could have been. Both Alpines pitting on the same lap there. It's now the two. Oh, that's. I think that's Ashton a lap down, maybe? Yeah. Fortunately for Ashton. Did I say the wrong driver name there? Yeah, Ashton is a lap down for Aston. Unfortunately there. Right, so that's for starting 5. And that's Zombie closing in as well there. Of course those excuse me, those hards getting slightly older in terms of tyre age. Where am I going? Here we go. So Harriet and Jatin both staying out. Verklempt setting a fastest lap. So yeah, Verklempt with the fastest lap, and he's ahead of Matty. So Matty comes out behind the Williams of Verklempt. Zombie though on the tail of Verstappen 95, and they go side by side. And who will come out on top here? And it's going to be Zombie for Haas, taking the P6 position. And so Matty creeping in and out of that 1 second window. So we'll see how that ebbs and flows. Tarrier pitting from the... Oh, Tarrier's got a penalty as well. Tarrier has a 10-second penalty, speeding into the pit lane. And on he goes to a set of medium tyres. But another driver falling victim to that pit lane speed limiter. And let's see where he slots in. A big tank slapper there as well. Oh, does he hit the wall on the exit there as well? And Verklempt heads through ahead of Tarrier. Tarrier slotting in P3 ahead of Matty. And so it is now just the 2 Audi cars yet to pit here in this race. The 2 Audis haven't yet gone into the pit lane. And Tarrier all over the back of Verklempt Williams car. Up the inside goes Tarrier into Pico de Bato. Is it going to be enough though? No, it's not for the Racing Bulls driver. But could it be into Yun Sao? It looked for a moment like it could have been, but Tarrier will have to wait longer if he wants to be able to make a move. Could it be the pit straight here? Let's have a look. Tarrier, will he make a move into turn 1? He will. Up the inside goes LTK Tarrier. He takes P2, but will it stay that way down towards turn 4? is the question. Yes, it will. It will stay the way of Tarrier being P2 on the road. And now Matty, he had a brief look on for Klempt there. And on board with the lines of the Klempt here, momentarily here. Let's see what. Oh, yellow flag, that is Seve Jr. He's got that going. So, no kinds of safety cars being deployed here. And so, we head on to the pit straight once again. Is there going to be any action? There's going to be Tarrier making the stopwatch action. He has set a new fastest lap on those fresh mediums. And we head down the back straight. And it is as you were for the moment. We have a look. Briefly there, it's Jaltis, we'll get him back in briefly. Okay, hopefully he gets back in as soon as he can. And we will head towards the pit straight again, lap 22 of 36. And so Matty is going to close. Is he going to go for a move though? Not into turn 1 here. But nose to tail they go, a very slight piece of contact, but of course very slight. And so Matty closing to Verklempt, and Matty going up the inside of Verklempt, and Matty, can they complete the move? Yes, they can. Matty on to that third place podium position. Oh, Jaltis. Into the pits goes Jaltis at some fresh medium tyres, and I think that is him still in AI after that disconnect, so maybe the Alpine not on the strategy he'd have wanted. Oh, and now Jatin pits from the lead. Jatin pits for the Audi team. But there might be some action out on track here. We'll have a quick look. Okay, so Jatin on to the medium tyre, lap 23. And so on to the back straight. Is there going to be some action here? Not quite so. We see Jatin out onto the track. He slots in P5 behind the Aston Martin of Kozlezko. So Jatin, what is he? He's about maybe 10 seconds off the lead. Can he make that up? We shall see in the laps that remain. Right, so Jatin right on the tail of Kozlezko here. But same goes for the battle for P2. Side by side they go. Verklempt with the inside line. And does he make the move stick into turn 1? Let's have a look. Yes, he can. Move complete. And speaking of complete moves, it is Jatin completing the move on Kozlezko for P4. And now these two side by side once again. Matty going back through, and Zombie speeding in the pit lane. Another driver not able to get that speed down. So Zombie into the pits. He serves a penalty. As we see Verstappen 95 also into the pits here. The Audi driver is onto the mediums and Zombie is onto the hards. And we're going to see Jaltis close to these two. Let's see where Jaltis will be in relation to these two coming out of the pit lane. It's going to be the Alpine ahead in 6th, and then it's going to be Verstappen 95 slotting 7th, and it's going to be Zombie slotting in P8. And Tarrier's into the pits. Tarrier pits for a second time this Grand Prix. So LT Tarrier into the pits again, and he's going to serve his time penalty. So he's going to serve the 10-second time penalty. And Tarrier, he's waiting an eternity there, serving that penalty. He goes on to medium compound tyres. So, is this going to be a 2-stop race for some of the... Oh! Tarrier, he's hit the wall in the pit lane, and that's reset him on to the track. So that is a bit of a disaster from Tarrier. He's down in 5th position and he's now got that front wing damage. And either leaves or disconnects there. We'll see what happens out in front and then throw him an invite back to the session. So no action into turn 1, but is there going to be action to turn 4? We'll wait to see that. For the moment, Verklempt, has he had a good exit out of turn 3? Let's have a look. And no move is gone for there. No move. Oh, and Verstappen 95 loses P7 to Zombie. But gets back going. Tarrier into the pits again, so the AI changing that front wing, and where's Tarrier going to drop to? It's going to be P8, I believe. Meanwhile, for the lead, it is nose to tail, pretty much side by side as well, and so it is Matty who has that P1 position. Sevy's into the pits for Mercedes. And we wait to see if these two go side by side into turn 4 though. Let's have a look. Verklempt going for the move as he side by side they go. And who is going to come out on top here? Oh, they still go side by side, but it's Verklempt who has the inside line, but then Matty comes right back into the Ferradura and retakes the lead. A lovely battle here for the lead. And we've got Sevy onto a fresh set of the mediums. And so, on board here with Verklempt. Still, of course, on that tail of Matty. And so, are we going to see some action this lap between these two? As they head on to lap number 28 of 36. And again, we shall see down into turn 4. That seems to be the best place to make an overtaking manoeuvre, and side by side these two go once again. Verklempt up the inside. Can he make it stick though? He goes a little bit deep, has a little bit of oversteer to contend with, and Matty is able to defend the position. He is able to defend that first place position. we will now have a look at the penalty situation. There is, of course, the 10-second penalty for Matty. So that's pretty unfortunate for Matty that he's got that. So Verklempt will be feeling confident at this stage. He'll be feeling very confident indeed, and so we go on to the start of another lap. Jatin, of course, we need to remember about him. He's closed up a little bit. He's now less than 4 seconds off. We can see him there in the background. And yeah, Verklempt needs to make sure that he is... Well, of course, a battle is fun. He doesn't want to be losing unnecessary time if he can help it. As Sevi Jr., he gets himself the new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And so... yeah, Jatin is for sure closing in, so he will also be confident at this stage. We've got two drivers, or well, all these drivers looking for, I believe, their first victory of the season. I think, well, Jatin, I think, did he win? Let me check that. There we go. Yeah, Jatin did win the first race of the season. So yeah, Jatin looking for his second race victory. Verklempt looking for his first race victory of the season, and Matty with that 10-second penalty. Unfortunately, that might deprive him of a race victory here. He could well still cross the line first, as Zombie gets past Jaltis for P5. Sorry, I should have been a bit more alert there. Sorry I missed that one. Are they going to come back? Right, that is the question. A battle for us to keep an eye on, as Matty's actually broken the 1 second window. So, well, it's back into it now, so it's sitting on the edge of that 1 second. Verklempt will not want to allow Matty too much distance. He'll want to remain on the overtake mode of the ERS, but he's currently not on that as of the next lap with the current gap that they have. So Zombie getting away a bit. He's got some hefty penalty situations, has the Haas of Zombie. 16 seconds for him. So that'll drop him down a couple of positions there. And yeah, Jatin, he's closing in. He's only got 5 laps to make the inroads that he will need to. I've just realised that I've left my steering wheel plugged in. Obviously I won't be needing that at the moment. So we're on to 5 laps to go. We're on to the last 5 laps of the race. And it is indeed crunch time for these drivers, looking to make the race victory. And so, who is it going to be to win the race here? We do not yet know the answer, and it should be an exciting last 4 laps of the race. The gap is for sure closing between Jatin and Verklempt, and it is those two battling for the lead. Sevi overtakes the AI tyre, has a big moment out of Yunsao, as the AI briefly gets back past, but I'm sure Sevi will re-overtake the AI car. So, yeah, there we go. That is... That's starting overtaking Ashton's AI there, as Jatin gets within a second of Verklempt. Okay, that has just put me a bit more on the edge of my seat now, as Jatin closes in to Verklempt. Let's see what they can do in the last few laps. So, what is going to be the finale of this race? Let's see. On board we are with Verklempt. He can see Mazepin ahead of him. Knows he has a 10-second penalty, but behind him is Jatin on that set of medium tyres. Yep, you can clearly see there, Jatin mediums and Verklempt hard tyres. So, is Jatin's strategy going to pay off here? He's got 2 laps now to make it work. 2 laps remaining of this Grand Prix, as Matty still leads the way, and that's the icon getting the blue flags there. So they're not quite nose to tail yet, which might be slightly worrying the idea of Jatin. He'd have probably wanted to be on the tail by now. 1.5 seconds the gap between Jatin and Verklempt. And so we've just got just over a lap to go here, and Jatin still a bit over the second back is the gap. So I thought the end was going to get exciting here, but the gap has stagnated a bit, which is slightly surprising, I would say. I thought they were going to converge on each other. But Verklempt is doing what he needs to do to take that top spot on the podium. Top spot. Has Kozlowski pitted there? Has he pitted? Quickly. Yeah, he did pit. Kozlowski's pit on to some fresh soft tyres. Oh, and Jatin's got a 3-second penalty as well now. So that'll just about confirm it. There we are. So we approach the final corners. Matty is going to cross the line on track first, but a 10-second penalty for him means that Verklempt takes the checkered flag, and he is the man who wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Jatin takes P2 for Audi, and of course Matty in P3. Zlezko, he is on a fastest lap attempt on those soft tyres. He's pitted onto them in the last moments, and he's going to cross the line for P4. Does he get a fastest lap? Yes, he does. That will get him an extra championship point. It's going to be Zombie across the line P5, but penalties means that he will drop down. So Jaltis across the line, he now inherits P5. Now Verstappen 95, will he be ahead of Zombie? Let's find out when we get to the race results. Top step of the podium for Verklempt. Right, so Verklempt is your race winner here at Brazil, with Jatin P2 and Matty on the podium P3. Kozlezko P4, Jaltis is P5, Zombie P6, with Verstappen 95, P7, Seve Jr. P8, and then Tarrier and FaZe Ashton, I believe, won't be classified, as they, I believe, both were in their cars. They weren't driving themselves. So, of course, with the rules coming into play, they, unfortunately for them, aren't going to be classified in the race results as finished, and there won't be any points scored for them. So, thank you all for tuning in, and hope to see you next week for round 7 and the Mexican Grand Prix. So, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.